Hello, everyone. My name is Nicole Celine. I am the host of Black Girl Joy. Today's topic that I really want to talk about is the side effects of chronic pain. Many a times, people just don't understand that there are some real side effects to chronic pain when you live in pain consistently. I am what's called a zipper head. I have Chiari I Malformation, but I also had the decompression. So that basically relieved some of the pressure that was in the brain or on my brain, sitting on basically the stem of my brain, because it wasn't when I was born, it was not developed correctly. So throughout my life, I have lived with consistent headaches beyond the migraine. And I've dealt with a lot of other manifestations of that pain, And now, as I'm older, I had my decompression. October 2nd made 9 years for me. And I had my decompression, and I'm very thankful for it, because you never die with Chiari. You never die from the disease. You die from all of the other things it affects within the body. Right? I have neuropathy in my feet and hands. I have severe neck pain. Now I developed severe sciatic nerve damage, and that has hindered me from doing a lot of things. And then there is the exhaustion, right? Because your body is fighting so much against the disease itself that I tire easily, right? However, today I wanted to talk about chronic pain. Why? Because a lot of times, to see me and to look at me, you would not know that I struggle with what I struggle. And yes, it is a disability. Most people, even disability themselves, are like, oh, you can get a sedentary job. However, a sedentary job has put me in a place now where this nerve damage, this lower back issue has really affected me greatly, more so than not, right? And I was always very active, always moving, always on the go. But even in that, it has slowed me down. So I wanted to talk about it. I've learned from experience that there are severe side effects to long-term chronic pain. However, so many people want you to just accept your pain, or they just want you to they just don't believe you, or they tell you, suck it up, And, that's offensive to someone who's dealing with it. It really is, because it's like, if I could suck it up, I would. However, I'm genuinely struggling. And we need someone with empathy and understanding. And usually the communities we kind of go to are to people, or talk to people who also have chronic pain issues. I will do a forum. I'm creating, as we speak, a forum for people who struggle with chronic pain, whether it's lupus, fibromyalgia. There's so many MS. There's so many people out here who are struggling with chronic pain. They may not look like they are, but they really are. The suggestions I've heard are non-pharmacological therapy, such as massage, physical therapy. But unfortunately, for some, the cost, it's costly, right? Some insurances won't pay for it. Or, depending on your insurance, you can look for wellness care. I think it's under, if I'm not mistaken. Someone can, write it in the message board. But there are some insurances with some companies that will actually give you a wellness care. I don't know how it works depending on the company. I guess it's something that, as I've told you, self-care is very important. So I would suggest looking into that type of therapy, seeing if that works for you. As a Chiari patient, I can't do massages, or you can't massage from the neck up. So it would only be, body massage, like my full body. And even then, it can't be like a deep tissue massage because of all the issues that I have with having Chiari I malformation. So this can leave you with, a lot of times this not being able to pay for some type of non pharmaceutical type of way can leave you, it can leave you broke, or it can leave you with limited solutions and you having to figure out how to deal with your pain. For me, I have terrible brain fog. So I have notebooks everywhere. I write everything down. It's just really bad. I lose my train of thought sometimes. In the middle of a sentence, I could be talking to you and I'm like, yeah, that's it. That's what I wanted to say. There are things like that. I forget sometimes I forget, like I'm going to the kitchen, and I know sometimes that comes with age, but sometimes I'm going to the kitchen and I'm like, why am I going to the kitchen again? Oh yeah, I got to go do this. I'm one that I put things, I like order. So I do put things back where I picked it up from. Why? Because then I can sometimes remember in my mind, oh, I put it there, so it might be there. I can't tell you how many times I've tried to put something away and then I can't remember where I put it, and then it's months later where I find it. I know most of us, between age and having a chronic illness, brain fog is a big thing. Even with words, I love writing or journaling. And in journaling, sometimes I'm like, oh gosh, how do you spell this? Or did I spell it right? And then I got to go to Siri. Siri and I have become best friends because I got to go to Siri and ask her, can you tell me, did I write this right? How do you spell this? And I have a dictionary on my phone. I love dictionary words. So every day I get a word for the day, or dictionary quotes. That really makes a difference in my life. And focusing, I struggle to focus sometimes. Like I'm a pastry chef by trade. It's what I do. It's what makes money for me. And I also make jewelry. However, sometimes I lose my track of focus because I'm like, oh, I said I was going to do this. And then I start doing it. And it's like, that movie Up, squirrel, and I'm gone to something else. Or I start organizing and I move on to something else because in the middle of organizing, I see something else. And I'm like, oh yeah, I needed to do this too. And there I go. And then it's like a downward spiral because then by the end of the night or the end of the day, I'm exhausted. I'm tired. My body is racking with pain. And so I will say, I try not to take too many drugs. So with Chiari, they give you gabapentin, especially it helps with my neuropathy. It helps with other things. However, me just being me, I try my best to try to just focus and center myself in God and just ask Him to help me to deal with my pain, because that helps me not to be on too many drugs or pharmaceutical drugs. I've tried the natural. Yes, I will say I am an advocate for the CBD. I've never smoked a day in my life, but I definitely take gummies when necessary. The gummies definitely make a difference for me. Now, for someone else, you need to see what works for you. You need to see what will help to relieve or at least numb the pain, to give you some normalcy or some normal life, right? As normal as it is for you, because your normal may be different from mine. I like to move around. I need to function. I live on a 5th floor walk up. So I need to be able to get up and down my stairs with as little to no pain as possible on a regular basis. So that is one part of having a chronic illness that, people don't think about. We take a lot for granted, I will say. I know for me, I can see someone else and they can clean their whole house in a day and still be able to go out to dinner or something, I clean my whole house in a day, I will end up in the hospital. Like, all seriousness. It is not, I can clean, what I try to do is maintain. So I was blessed by having one of my friends get a cleaning company to come in and just clean my house. And now all I have to do is maintain the cleanliness, because I do like cleanliness. I can't smell it because I'm asthmatic, but I love the smell of Clorox. I love the smell of Pine Sol. I love the smell. Those things bring, even the smell of a dryer, because I don't know, from a little child, I've always loved cleanliness. I grew up in a home where my dad mopped the floors on Sundays and my mom was cleaning the rest of the house. So maintaining that is also a form of helping me with my chronic pain, because in my mind, we want a certain amount of order, and having order in my home makes a difference for me. So I also struggle with insomnia. Now, I will say that I've struggled with insomnia for quite some time, but it's only gotten increasingly worse because I'm also perimenopause, menopausal, I'm in between. And so with that, my insomnia is at 1,000 sometimes, where in the essence, I'll go a day or 2 days without sleeping. I can take a nap, and a nap consists of maybe 1 or 2 hours, but then I'm up for the rest of the day, or for the rest of the night, and still trying to figure out how to function. Like with it, sometimes I get up and I'm like, well, maybe do some work. Maybe I'll get tired. Let me read a book. No, that's not going to work for me, because then I'll lose focus. Maybe let me listen to a book, or let me listen to something. And then that only keeps me more awake. And, I don't have the TV on. My phone is charging somewhere else, so I try to make my environment as comfortable. I put peppermint oil, but yeah, that doesn't work. And then if I'm in pain, that keeps me up. Because if the medication or the CBD has not kicked in to help me sleep, yeah, there'll be no sleeping for me, because my pain alone keeps me awake. Without any medicine, my pain keeps me awake. So I struggle with insomnia. Then my social life. Let's talk about social life, right? So I'm a mom. I'm a single mom. My daughter is grown at this point, yes. She's 22, bless God. And within that time of raising my daughter and having a social life, that has been difficult, because most times I'm tired. I mean, and I hate to say it, but it's like my tired is tired, because I'm just tired. And I'm trying to have a social life, go out with my friends, go out with my sister, meet up, or go to an organization, help out and do. And my body's like, I don't know what you're doing and I don't know where you're going, but I'm going to tell you what, we going to sit right here and you going to stay right here. Because sometimes just to move is painful. But I do it. A lot of times people ask me, how do you do it? Because eventually what happens with me is the pain shows up on my face. Like my face gets red. And it's not a hot flash, because I do get those also. It is, the level of pain is now becoming too much for my body. And so my body, that's how it reacts, right? So in and of that, I try to avoid going out too much. And I love to eat. To see me, you will, I'm 200 pounds or 215, somewhere out there. Don't tell anybody. But I love to eat. Food is life to me. Food is beautiful to me. Like I became a pastry chef because I love desserts. I love dessert, and I love sweets. I will eat sweets. Okay, and let's make it clear, it's not candies. I'm not a candy person. Cakes, pies, croissants, all of that, I love it. Love it. And do I know how to make it? Absolutely. I need a bread maker. So for Christmas, if anybody wants to buy me a bread maker, I would appreciate it, because I would love to make some chocolate croissants, or, things like that, or some chocolate bread. That would be thebomb.com. But anyway, let's not get off subject. So because of that, my social life is nil to none, because most times I'm like, no, I don't want to go out, because that would require me to the next day pay for it with my body, So even in my social life, chronic pain can really hinder someone's social life, because no one wants to hear every time they see you, oh, how are you doing? Oh, I'm in pain. So because sometimes people show it on their faces. They're like, and they may not say it out their mouth, but they're like, and their thought is, oh my goodness, when are you not in pain? It's like, you know what? So to avoid not seeing that, to avoid not going through that, to avoid just not having to deal or explain, we stay home. We make it our business to just stay in the house, not go anywhere, and not have to really deal. Sometimes having to deal with someone, we try to text. I'll text you, I'll see how you're doing, and even then sometimes I forget to check up on people, see how they're doing, what they're doing. So with that, it can be kind of hard sometimes, right? So your social life gets hindered, and you try to make a conscious effort to talk to people, to be engaged with people, to do all those things. But a lot of the time, you just don't want to interact with anyone. And because you're also trying to preserve your energy. Like I try to preserve my energy. Like today is one of those days that I have to run errands. So I made sure to do everything I needed to do the night before, so that this morning when I leave, I can just do what I need to do and be focused on that, and preserve my energy, so that when I come home, yes, I will be exhausted. However, I will hopefully accomplish all that I need to accomplish, because that's one thing about me. I'm goal oriented, and I like to be able, I write down my goals, or no, not true. That's not true. Sometimes I don't always write them down. Sometimes they're in my head, no one else can see them. Because if they did, they'd be like, what? Are you crazy? You're not. And so I rather not. So I just keep my goals to myself and try to move forward. The next thing is like my mood changes. Oh boy. If my sister and my brother were here, they would tell you I'm not a moody person by nature, but when I am hungry, people talk about you get hangry, right? So, but when I am in pain, OMG, like when my body can no longer handle it, when I'm just, my mood's already changed because of my menopause. So on top of that, my pain level, because of what I go through on a daily basis, it's not a pretty thing. So that's another reason why I stay to myself, because those mood changes or mood swings, however anyone wants to call it, it's not always the prettiest. I try my best to put a smile on my face and think positive, and I love the Lord, so I'm always talking to him and asking him to help me to just be pleasant and give grace and expect grace from others also, and be empathetic to others and their situations, and pray that they will do the same for me. Doesn't always work that way, but I do try, but when with the mood swings, even myself, I try to catch it, and be like, okay, Nicole, I know you're in pain, but let's listen. Because, let's say this. I will say this also. When you're in so much pain, sometimes even listening becomes a challenge, because you're trying to listen to your body, deal with that pain, and then listen to your spouse, your children, your friends, or anyone else, right? And you're trying to give them your best. And at times, you're not at your best. So you need to be honest about it and tell them, look, today's a painful day for me. I'm not at my best. Can we do this later? Can I listen to you later? And let me figure out how to reduce the pain that's, attacking my body right now. And that's not always easy, but it's necessary to do. None of these things are easy, but they are necessary for your well-being. And that's my main concern. I do this because I want you to take care of your well-being, not to be selfish. I'm not a selfish person, and I do not like selfish people. And I think I say this often, even on my Facebook page. I do not like selfish people. It's not about being selfish. It's just about making sure that you take care of you and the necessary things that you need to do for you. So it is about your well-being, because when you're healthy or when you're good, everyone else is good around you. Because chronic pain also it's almost like an octopus or even like veins. And it definitely affects every area of your life. It's like tunnels. So if you're hurting and you're in pain, you stub your toe, you start screaming, start yelling at people, you start cursing, you start doing all of this, and it just changes everything. So think about someone who is always in pain, like never gets a break from the pain. It's going to affect every area of their lives, right? So this is really what I wanted to really talk to you about today. This is a series. Actually, like I said, I'm going to have a forum with others who struggle with fibromyalgia, with lupus, with other brain issues, and how it affects their daily lives. Yes, they do have to function, and they try their best to function, but it really does affect your life. And so I want to interview them, talk to them, and for you guys to understand that if you are someone that doesn't struggle with pain, any kind, some people have never even had a headache. But if you are someone who's never struggled with pain and doesn't understand, I'm imploring you to please have some empathy. Please give them grace. Please understand, not pity, because we don't need the pity. We just need grace, to come and just give us a moment in time to just get ourselves together. That's what I'm asking for today, for those who have never struggled with pain, right? So I thank you very much for listening. Look out for my forum. That will be video, because I want you to see the faces. I want you to see that we are beautiful, handsome, and wonderful people, but we do have a struggle also. Chronic pain is a real thing, right? So I thank you today. God bless you. Have a wonderful day. Peace and blessings. Once again, my name is Nicole Celine. I am the host of Black Girl Joy. Bye-bye.